What do you think of this idea? As artists, our job is to pose really interesting questions, not to give really interesting answers. I just heard that quote watching a video of Jacob Collier, and it struck me as very interesting because I think there's many cases out there where influencers are providing answers. They're providing answers to the questions people have. And it's this very give and take, back and forth. And maybe it's not for everyone. Maybe it's not for all creators, for all spaces. But a part of me believes that there is a role to play within the artist's realm of asking different questions or presenting different questions. The way I honestly look at it is maybe my role, along with many others, is to introduce different questions into your life so that you could start having a different pattern of thinking. I'm not here to tell you what's right or wrong in terms of mindset or beliefs or values. I can only share what I know, what I've experienced. But what I can do for you is help you pose different questions, help look at things in a different light. I know for myself, I often have to find new questions to ask, because the questions I ask determine what I'm focused on. Lately, I've been, having these moments where I'm almost thinking too much about certain people or certain things, certain places, certain activities, certain experiences. And it wasn't until today that I asked myself, what is this similar to? I was wondering, have I experienced something like this in the past? Which I knew I have. I was just wondering where. And as I started to ask those questions and answer them for myself, I noticed that this feeling that I have on a daily basis, if not hourly basis, is most similar to when I was feeling very addicted to certain things, right? Addicted, obsessive. It was something that I needed to do. I've had these feelings when it came to scrolling on Instagram or other social media. I've had these feelings when it came to eating certain foods, right? Knowing that certain foods aren't good for me and they don't make me feel good, yet I'm drawn to them anyways. I've had feelings of this when, with video games, and now that I think about it, also with pornography in the past. It's like a pulling sensation, and not that it's always pulling me to participate or do the activity. It's pulling in that way that it's pulling my focus. It's pulling my thoughts. And where focus goes, energy flows. The more you think about something, the more your energy goes there. It's almost like if you're constantly thinking about the foods you shouldn't eat, your energy is going to go towards that food, right? Your brain, your mind doesn't focus on the word shouldn't. it just focuses on those foods. And as you say, I shouldn't eat those French fries, I shouldn't eat those slices of pizza, whatever it is that your food is, all you're picturing in your mind is that food. And you start to crave it, and then you go for it. Rather than reframing and saying, oh, I should really eat this food. Not even thinking about what you shouldn't do. What should you do? But as you could see, there's a way that the addiction pulls that focus, pulls those thoughts. I've had periods of time in my life where people have been that focus for me, where I so desperately want the attention of certain people that it almost becomes obsessive. And I acknowledge that. It's a part of my past, and honestly, it's a part of my present still. It's not like how it used to be, but it's still there, and I'm still working through it. And the thing is, for me, the only way I've ever known in the past for dealing with something like this, for not focusing on whatever it is I'm addicted to, was to completely remove it from my life. Just don't interact with it. When it came to video games, I remember packing up my Xbox and putting it in my closet, so I didn't even have it in my line of sight. And I did that for like months at a time, if not years. When it came to food, I made sure to not go down certain aisles, not even buy those foods. And that did build up my strength. And there's times that I still slip up. But the reason I bring this up is because I now wonder, is this what I have to do with these people? With the people in my life that I most want attention from, and they just occupy so much of my mind. Do I have to almost limit myself? It's much harder decision to make here because, well, it's another person I'm talking about. It's a relationship that exists. And I don't know how to have this conversation with someone. I don't know what this means. I guess I don't have the answer to a lot of these questions, so I don't even know where to start. I don't know how to explain this. Me talking right now is me trying to explain it to myself, really. What do I do here? I guess the first thing I want to do is see if anybody else has had this experience. Are there others that have thought in the same way that I do? What are the solutions here? Another option I have is I could go to resources for addictions in general. And I find strategies and coping mechanisms for people who have addictions that can't as easily be cut out. As you could see, this is how my brain works in real time, and it's all dependent on the questions I ask myself. Because I could just as easily ask myself questions like, am I broken? Am I wrong for this? Will I ever get better? Will I ever change? The answer to those questions I now know is I'm not broken. It will get better. I can change. But I know that if you ask yourself questions like that all the time, and it's more of a habit rather than consciously asking yourself that question, it only takes 1 or 2 occurrences for you to really start to believe, oh, maybe I am broken. Maybe I can't change. Maybe there is something wrong. Asking better questions is so crucial. It's crucial for me, it's crucial for you. Because I also know that if you don't have the answer that you're looking for, or if the answers you have in your life are not making you happy, well, it's probably because you're asking the wrong questions. And maybe happy isn't the right word. Maybe the word that I'm looking for is pushing you in the right direction, right? If your answers aren't getting you where you want to go, in that case, it's probably because you're asking the wrong questions. Because when I really think about my past, some of the most important answers that I've gotten did not make me happy. It was usually about a change I had to make. And as you know, change is really uncomfortable. It gets suck sometimes. Yet, we all do it. We all have to do it. Because if we're not changing, we're not growing. And if we're not growing, we're dying. There is no stagnation in this universe. There is no staying still. Things are always changing. We are always changing. So in which way are you changing? Are you letting your changes go by unconsciously? Or are you choosing which direction to go in? Having it go in your favor rather than someone else's. If you don't have a plan for your life, you're just going to fit into the plan of somebody else's. Meaning, if you aren't conscious about which direction you're going in, you will be swayed. You will be pushed in directions by the people around you, which may not always be a bad thing, but one day you will wake up and you will notice that this isn't the life that you expected to live. And from experience, that is a painful realization. A necessary one, but painful nonetheless. And if there's anything I could wish for you, it's to not feel any unnecessary pain. Pain is inevitable, but we don't need to make it more excessive than needed. Anyways, I have this issue to figure out. I have this experience to learn about. Because as of right now, I may just be leaning in the way of, I think I have to create a lot of distance. Which sucks. Because this is a friend. And I really wanted this friend. But now it's getting to the point that it's a bit unhealthy. And I definitely should prioritize healthy relationships over unhealthy ones. And it's not like I haven't in the past prioritized no relationships over unhealthy ones. Sometimes that's what we need to heal. That's what we need to create a space that feels better. This is not how I expected today to go. That's for sure. If you have any thoughts, let me know. I'm really curious. I'm really asking. And maybe you could share a perspective that I didn't even consider. And that'll help all of us to learn and grow from. So until then, just remember to always fill up with the love. And I really, 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 really do look forward to seeing you in the next one. I love you.